You've been an observer and also a commentator on President Trump and his role in foreign relations here. I think it's been a little bit difficult to see a straight path that he's pursuing. What path should he be pursuing on Friday with the G20?
Well, an important series of meetings, a visit to Poland, and then the G20 summit in Hamburg. He's going to have a reset in his relations with Angela Merkel because the first few meetings did not go well. But the true meeting this week that's going to test his leadership is with Vladimir Putin. The European Union has just recently reaffirmed its economic sanctions against Russia for its invasion of Crimea and annexation of Crimea. And I think it's important that President Trump reaffirm American sanctions. There's been doubts about that over the last year or so. Secondly, there's the issue of Russian interference in the American elections. Our intelligence community is 100% sure that Russia launched a major cyber attack, tried to get into the databases of 21 American states. Our president, needs to push back and tell Putin that's unacceptable. There's a bill, David, in the Senate, 97-2 voted in favor of a bill to put additional American economic sanctions on Russia over this interference, and the Trump administration is trying to water it down or even stop it altogether. I think if the president goes into these meetings and isn't strong on these two issues of Ukraine and interference in the American elections, it's a bad way to start with a cynical and brutal politician like Putin.
But Nick, one of the hallmarks of effective foreign policy is consistency over time. This man, Donald Trump, as candidate and then as president, has been pretty consistent in not really wanting to go after the Russians. Can he really do what you suggest without a lot of people saying, wait a second, he's changed his mind again?
Well, I think the problem is that he's boxed in on Russia. Senate Republicans do not support a lifting of the sanctions against Ukraine, and Senate Republicans do support additional sanctions on Russia over the interference in our elections. So he's lost his own party on Capitol Hill. He has no support from Democrats. And if you look at the public opinion polls, the American people want a serious policy towards Russia. So I don't think that President Trump can afford to be consistently weak on Russia, and that's what he's been by any standard of measurement as a candidate and as president over the last 6 months.